So I'm here on day 5 of the RTR. Yesterday I took a break from the RTR. I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Just had a little bit of a sensory overload. So I took a little break from it and kind of did my own thing. But I'm here on day 5. I'm about to start heading up there and take a look and see if there's something I can learn today. I am anticipating the crowd is going to be a lot larger than what I saw 2 days ago. So I'm on my way over there now.
So if you're forced onto the road and you know you've just got your eviction notice, you've got 2 weeks, you're living in your car no matter what, that isn't the horror story it sounds like and feels like. I know what that feels like. And I don't want anyone to feel that and be completely alone. And so the caravans, I think, are the answer. You can leave your home, you can go to a group of people.
You could have slept in. Yeah, you all could have slept in. That's the problem. You think, well, he's just going to blither on. I'll sleep in. What are you guessing? I'm guessing 6,000 to 8,000. Okay, we think there's at least 8,000. We could be conceivably pushing up towards 10. You don't think so? Right? We don't know because we're not professionals at this kind of things. We're all just bumbling around in the dark.
And is now up on stage. I'm going to be talking about boondocking. I actually enjoy watching her channel. Learned a lot from her, and
I was thinking about what to name it. I was like, Boondocking 101, Boondocking for Dummies.
Boondocking 101 with Carolyn. This is going to be fun.
As free as we can in today's society. We have found a group of fellow adventurers and fellow counterculture, let's say. I think we're a counterculture of the modern day, of people who have figured out a way to live our authentic selves. And for me, and I think for many of us, that meant getting away from debt, getting away from stuff, and living closer to nature. Does that resonate? Yeah. And that today I'm going to talk to you everything that I have learned about literally getting $1 million real estate every day, a different view, every week, every month, a different view, absolutely free. So boondocking for dummies? I don't think so. My name is Carolyn Rose, and I do have a YouTube channel called Carolyn's RV Life. And about 3 years ago actually, I was still living in the rat race in the San Francisco Bay Area. I had built a small business, marketing consulting practice. I was making by most standards across the country, a really good living, and I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was paying almost $1,600 to live in a 600 square foot in-law apartment with no yard of my own, no space of my own, with a little dog door for Capone that he could go to the side of the house in the backyard that was actually my landlord's. And I had started after a divorce and everything, I started doing the things that I really wanted to do. I was backpacking and I was traveling, and when I was going out and doing these things, when I was spending 26 days on the trail, or when I was going to Europe for 3.5 weeks, I'm going, why am I paying $1,600 to store my stuff? I've been living for 3 weeks off a backpack or a suitcase, and I'm happy. I'm fine. And after spending 26 days on the trail, the John Muir Trail, I went back and I'm looking around. I'm like, I just lived off 40 pounds on my back for 26 days. I got crap in here I haven't even looked at in 2 years, and yet I schlepped it over here from my last place. Why? And like many of you, I took to the internet and said, there's got to be another way. What else is there? Tiny homes, buying a piece of property, minimalism, what is the next version? What am I going to do? And of course, like many of you, I stumbled upon us, a whole community of people who live in RVs and vans and live on public lands and take advantage of being closer to nature and just all the beautiful, wonderful things, the freedom that comes with it. And so for 3 years, I have been on the road. I've traveled 25 states, including Alaska.
Yeah.
How many of you enjoyed going on that trip with me? It was awesome. So I traveled to Alaska, 25 states, including Alaska. I boondocked all across the country. Clear that when I say boondocking, I am talking about dry camping, being fully self-contained, and even if you're in a van, being self-contained means having a way to get water, having a way to dispose of waste, having a way to just live fully self-contained without any services, no bathrooms, no showers, no electrical outlets to, blow dry your hair and get all pretty. We're living on public lands with no amenities whatsoever. And the difference between, we're not talking about stealth camping. Stealth camping, in my definition here, is what you do in more urban areas. It's what you might do in a city or, thank you. It's what you might do in a city or, even in the suburbs when you're still surrounded by society and you need to kind of maybe fly under the radar. You might be in a van, or I actually have done some stealth camping, not very successfully, and maybe that's why I've had 6 knocks at my door already. And I think many of you heard the story. I don't know what it was my first year out. I thought I was invisible in my 29-foot piece of crap. I'm invisible, and I'm screaming, homeless person over here. So when I talk about boondocking, I'm really talking about living on public lands, being fully self-contained, and not what you do if you still are in an urban area, living in the city and kind of flying under the radar, or maybe pushing the envelopes on some of the rules and things like that. I really am just talking about living successfully on public lands. Officially, when you are searching for boondocking spots on public websites like National Forests and BLM lands, and I'm going to get to in a minute where you can boondock, it's called, the official term for what we do, official, is called dispersed camping. So you're never going to go on a National Forest site and look for boondocking, where to boondock. You're going to look for dispersed camping. That's the technical term. Camp. There are designated first come first served campgrounds, and oftentimes they're free. There are what's in BLM land called LTVAs, which are long-term visitor areas, which you pay. They're really inexpensive, but those are designated campsites. Dispersed camping, on the other hand, is what you do when you just go down a road and find a place to plop down and call home for the day or the week. Be impacting our public lands. It is absolutely critical for us to follow the rules, to be mindful about our presence on public lands, to respect not only the land, but ourselves and each other. We want to make sure that we keep this open, not only for us, but for future generations. And that means properly taking care of our land, making sure that we leave no trace, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute, and just follow the rules. Don't squat in a highly impacted area. Don't stay longer than you're supposed to. Take your garbage out. Take more than your garbage out. Clean it up. So where can we boondock? So how many people here are like brand new? You've been out less than a month. And how many people have been out less than a year? Okay, we don't have too many newbies here. So where can we boondock? National forests, BLM lands, state forests. So sometimes state forests, Army Corps of Engineers sometimes has, oftentimes actually has either dispersed camping or designated campgrounds that are free. Wildlife refuges are another place, COFA. I think COFA is a wildlife refuge, right? So COFA right down the street has dispersed camping, fish and wildlife, wilderness areas, and utility districts, especially in the southeast, might also have either dispersed camping or free camping in designated areas. One of the things that I look for in a good boondocking spot are what I call the 3 S's.
Sun, because I need solar, right? My RV is powered by solar. Solitude, and Signal. So where you can't boondock, places that you are not allowed to just go off and find a camp spot on the side of the road. National parks, even during the shutdown. I don't know if anybody's seen what's going on in Joshua Tree, but people are chopping down trees to make roads. Indian reservations do not allow dispersed camping, boondocking. I mean, you can't just go there. Sometimes you can get permission from the tribal office, but don't just go onto an Indian reservation and assume it's beautiful, it's wide open, there are roads. Don't go onto an Indian reservation and just assume that you can camp there. Just always check with the tribal office before you trespass on Indian land. Trespassing on somebody's private property, even if I think I'm not causing any harm, it's just not the right thing to do. So do not boondock on private property unless you have permission. You're also going to want to avoid, of course, anything that has signs that say no trespassing, no camping.
Alright, so I'm back to my van. I stuck around the RTR for the first segment of the seminar, which was about boondocking. Carolyn has some really good information on boondocking and what to look for, plus some of the tools that she uses to find some of these locations. Key thing is when you're out boondocking, exploration. You're not going to always find it on a map. You're not going to always find it in a book or on a review or anything like that. It's always all about exploration, getting out there and looking for things. But I did stick around for that portion of the seminar. The next section was going to be about stealth camping. I've been doing van dwelling for almost 3 years. That's pretty much been the majority of what I've done is stealth camp in the city around Denver metro area. So I didn't stick around for that segment. I'm sure you can find some more of the information on her channel or Bob's channel for the RTR, but this is what I captured today, and this is what I experienced today, and there's some really good information on there. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy, and don't forget to like and subscribe the videos, and we'll see you next time.